What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is going to be New York City and Los Angeles compared by no one other than Mr. B. If you haven't seen this channel before, the link will be in the description. But I have been to New York City. I haven't been to Los Angeles, so I can't comment too much on that, but I may be able to comment on my experience in New York City throughout this video when they're comparing. And I believe there is, apparently according to you guys, quite a big rivalry between New York City and Los Angeles. At the end of the day, they are the big dogs. Like, if you're talking, let's say, a foreigner who thinking, when you think of America, the main cities, you're talking New York City, the stuff where dreams are made of, you know what I mean, the city that never sleeps. I mean, you're on about Los Angeles, you got your Hollywood, the beaches and stuff like that. So two major players in it, and I imagine they're always competing to say, I'm better than you, and no, I'm better than you. I don't have an opinion. Like I said, I haven't been to Los Angeles. I absolutely loved my time in New York as a visitor there, especially being an architectural technician as well. Some of the architecture there is absolutely stunning. A lot of history in them buildings, and I really enjoyed it. That doesn't mean I won't really enjoy Los Angeles. I imagine I will. Like, it's a completely different life. And when I'm thinking about what I've seen in Los Angeles, like on these reactions, it's more beachy, you know what I mean, it's a lot warmer. It seems like a completely different lifestyle, but I suppose when you've got two major cities with a lot of population, they're going to be going at it. So let's get straight into this video without me waffling, because I'm talking on a subject I probably know the least out of everyone watching this about, to be honest with you. So smash that like button if you want to see more of this. I'd seriously appreciate it. And if you enjoy this reaction, let me know in the comments any other Mr. Beat videos or any other general videos like this you want me to react to. I'd seriously appreciate that. And hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. That's the main thing. Smash that subscribe button, you absolute legends. Now, let's check it out. New York City versus Los Angeles compared. What we got?
New York City, New York, the Big Apple. Empire City, the city of dreams, the city so nice they named it twice. And Los Angeles, California, the Big Orange, the city of angels, La La Land, Shaky Town. NYC and LA are the two largest cities in the United States. New York has the most people with a population of 8.5 million, while LA has around 4 million people.
It's double. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a pretty big deal. That's a big deal, and I wanted to celebrate. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Jerry, would you do the honors, please? Yes! Here we go. Yeah!
Fair play. Oh. Oh, wow.
The New York metropolitan area, however, has 20.3 million people. So
incredible.
About 1 in 16 Americans live there. The Los Angeles metropolitan area has about 13.1 million people. Both are cosmopolitan, world-famous cities. Two cities that never seem to sleep, always hustling and bustling. Over the last century, the two cities have dominated and influenced the culture of the rest of the entire country. It's like the two forget the fact that
not only the entire country, like everyone else's countries as well. Like, people look at them, they see them on the movies, and they absolutely love it. It influences the whole world.
The rest of us exist. You see this on mainstream TV. Most national news and entertainment programming occurs in either LA or New York. Although LA has way more YouTubers than New York, both are by oceans. NYC by the Atlantic Ocean and LA by the Pacific. Both are diverse. We're talking people flock from all over the world to these two cities to start new lives. More than 37% of New York residents were born in another country. Nearly 40% of LA residents were born in another country. Almost half.
Yeah, you know what? With LA, that's something I wouldn't have guessed, because I know a lot of people flock to it for like the stardom and fame and stuff like that. Like LA, at least. I'm not saying California as a whole, because as people pointed out in the California-Texas one, there's a lot of quiet areas, which isn't that. But we're talking about Los Angeles. A lot of people go there for the fame and stuff like that. And I thought it was other Americans going. But obviously not. People from all over the world are also going, so fair play.
Half of the residents of LA are considered either Hispanic or Latino. New York has historically been the main way immigrants come to the United States. In both LA and New York, you'll see lots of ethnic enclaves, or neighborhoods dominated by one ethnic group. Both tend to have younger residents compared to most other cities around the United States. Although LA is a bit younger, it's really freaking expensive to live in both cities. Although LA is about 8.3% less expensive than New York, but it's a lot.
Yeah, them two stats definitely aren't surprising to me. I'd always guess New York was more expensive. Like, it was ridiculously expensive. Maybe that's just my experience of being there and seeing how ridiculously expensive it is coming in, and I haven't been to Los Angeles. And again, just that whole beach and sunny vibe what Los Angeles gives out, I'd guess it was more of a younger audience. New York, don't get me wrong, a lot of people go there for careers and stuff like that, but just the whole sun, beach, fame, I guess, of Los Angeles. I may be wrong. Again, I may be stereotyping loads, so have a go at me, you want in the comments. Don't dislike the video, though, and be civil about it, because I'm just giving my opinion. But I would have guessed that it was a lot younger in LA.
A lot more expensive to buy a home in LA. The median household income in both cities is similar. The unemployment rates and job growth rates are also comparable. Related to how expensive it is in both places, of course, is how crowded both cities are. While LA is notorious for its bad traffic, by some metrics, New York's traffic is actually worse. Here's another surprise. If you look at the entire metro areas, LA, the city known for its sprawl that goes on for miles and miles, has a higher population density than New York. But city proper ain't nobody as dense as New York City. We're talking 27,000 per square mile in NYC versus around 8,000 people per square mile in LA.
That's incredible. 27,000 per square mile. Wow.
The commute time for both cities is way higher than the national average. New Yorkers use more public transportation than LA folks, by far. I mean, there's really no comparison. In LA, people own cars. They drive. In New York, over half of the households don't own a car. 75% of Manhattan residents don't. New York has by far the highest rate of public transportation use of any American city. 1 in 3 Americans who use mass transit regularly live in New York or its suburbs.
I mean, it makes sense if you can get around for a good price. When I've been there, at least, it's been absolutely chock-a-block. Like, it really has. Everyone banging their horns because they're fuming. But yeah, chock-a-block completely.
New York has one of the largest subway systems in the world. Los Angeles? No offense, but your mass transit system is a joke.
Oh, come on! Open it up!
Hey!
Is this good, Olympic and Hauser? Hey, not all the way. You got to transfer. Transfer? Olympic and Hauser? I'm supposed to go to, sir? I'm supposed to go to Olympic and Hauser?
Yeah. Oh, it's easy, man. Get off at the La Cienega stop. You got a couple options.
Okay. Will you tell me when that's coming up?
I'm not your babysitter. Figure it out.
Both cities used to be under the control of different European countries. New York used to be New Amsterdam, under the control of the Dutch in the first half of the 1600s. Los Angeles used to be under Spanish rule in the late 1700s and early 1800s, and then under Mexican rule for a while. Yeah, let's go into some history of the two cities, eh? But before I get too far in New York, I should say this video is a collaboration with M. Laser, who just released a video about the history of New York.
Hello. Yo, fair play. Do you want me to check that out? Again, I know I need to check out the Texas Revolution. I've got so many videos you guys want me to check out from Mr. Beat. Like, it's an awesome channel, and the last videos just keep popping up out of nowhere. But do you want me to check this one out as well? I definitely will.
He goes in, like, way more detail than me. But I will give you some bits and pieces here. So, New York, it used to be settled by the Russians.
Actually, no. The New York City area prior to the European colonization was inhabited by the Lenape people.
Okay,
oh, wow.
Well, but New York City was named by the British after the York peppermint patty.
No, it wasn't.
Just go do your video already.
Okay, but I'm going to need your help.
Wait, what did you do?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so anyway, now that you've got some history of New York, here's a bit of the history of LA.
Yeah, I definitely. Let me know if you want to check that video out. I'd be super keen again with the British rule and stuff like that at some point. How they came to the name New York. Was it after the city? I kind of guess so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Spanish arrived in greater numbers in the 1700s. Around 5,000 Native Americans, known as the Tongva, resided in the Los Angeles basin. NYC was founded in 1624, 157 years before LA. To put that in perspective, Denver is 160 years old. And for decades, Los Angeles was just a sleepy little colonial town along the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
it was founded on September 4th, 1781, by 11 Mexican families, all still known as Los Pobladores. Even after the Americans took control of the town in 1848, it remained small. However, that began to change after the completion of the Santa Fe Railroad line, which connected Chicago to LA in 1885. After that, the population exploded, going from around 15,000 to 100,000 by 1900.
Oh,
in the
wow.
early 1900s,
I mean, yeah, we saw it a second ago about exponential growth. As soon as that railway line was in, people had the route to it, and it just grew and grew and grew. And then obviously Hollywood came in, I imagine. I don't know what year it came in. And it just, yeah, it is what it is, and it's exponentially growing. But again, a lot of people told me recently that people are leaving LA. I don't know the whole thing, but let me know if you want to check that out as well. So many videos. We're going to be here literally for the next 5 years just checking these videos out.
Filmmakers began flocking to the Los Angeles area to escape Thomas Edison and his motion picture patents company in New York. You see, in Southern California, they could escape the ridiculous licensing fees from Edison's monopoly. Once the filmmakers got to LA, they stayed for their wonderful weather and wide range of geographical locations and architectural styles nearby to film with. So Hollywood fueled even more growth, as well as innovative aircraft construction during World War II. After World War II, growth remained steady, and while today old industries in the city have dramatically declined, new ones have taken their place. The top 3 industries in Los Angeles today are entertainment, no surprise there, aerospace, and tourism. The top 3 in New York are...
I wouldn't have guessed aerospace, but again, they did mention the whole planes a second ago in World War II, but I don't really know it had a connection to it, to be honest with you. And tourism, it is what it is. New York is going to have tourism on as well. For financial services, not surprising. The other one, obviously it's financial services because like the World Trade Centers and stuff like that. Tourism has got to be one, surely. The public sector, would you count that? I don't know, we'll see.
Financial services, media, and communications.
Okay.
New York
I guess the public sector covers all them. And tourism wasn't on there, to be fair, so it's kind of living its own thing without tourism. Fair play, New York.
Are generally more well-educated than LA residents. About 39% of New Yorkers have at least a bachelor's degree, compared with 32% of Angelinos.
Not too different.
It gets quite a bit colder in New York, although it can get pretty hot in the summer there. It has a humid subtropical climate, believe it or not. New York has 4 seasons. LA has 2, a wet season and a dry season. LA has what they call a Mediterranean climate with moderate, lovely temperatures year-round.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Fairly dry there, which often can cause wildfires that swallow up neighborhoods.
Oh my God.
Speaking of disasters, LA also has to deal with earthquakes being in the ring of fire and more smog than New York. But it's not as bad as it used to be there.
I honestly would have guessed there would be a lot more smog in New York. That's a very surprising stat to me. Is that surprising to you guys or not? Like, New York, very condensed, not much space in it. You're talking skyscrapers up there, a lot of cars continuously. It's meant to be smog haven, isn't it? And then you're talking Los Angeles, my inception of it is a lot more open, a lot more fresh sea air and stuff like that. And it's got more? Wow, that's so surprising.
New York might have a bad winter storm here and there, but usually by the time hurricanes make their way up the East Coast to NYC, they have weakened considerably. LA has mountains nearby. New York doesn't. New York is actually like 5 cities. Really, they are administrative divisions. They call them boroughs. They all used to be independent places, but consolidated. The 5 are Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island.
Which is what I know I've paused loads in this video, but I always get, because my only experience of America is New York City, Manhattan. And even when I compare it to New York City, I always get in the comments saying, man, you haven't been to New York. Just because you've been to Times Square, Manhattan, the World Trade Center and all that, you haven't been to New York. It's a whole state. It's got so much culture. Yeah, you can't even say you've been to New York. You've been to Manhattan. And to be fair, I agree, but it's so big. We were there for a week, and honestly, our schedule was fully packed. So hopefully I'll be able to explore the rest of New York one day.
New York has stricter laws overall than LA. For example, it has a ban on smoking in public. New York also has a higher tax burden than LA.
Not surprising.
New York has lower property taxes, but slightly higher sales taxes and much higher income taxes. What about tourist attractions? Well, both have plenty. New York's got Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, City, One World Trade Center, Central Park, the High Line, the Rockefeller Center, and the Empire State Building.
Oh,
LA's
absolutely
got
stunning.
Hollywood, Universal Studios, Disneyland, Griffith Observatory and Park, the Getty Center, Santa Monica Pier, and Venice Beach. Professional.
I've been to all of them in New York, but I cannot wait to go to the rest in Los Angeles. Like, I've got to explore it 100%.
Sports teams? Of course. New York's got the Yankees and Mets for baseball, the Giants and Jets for football, the Knicks and Nets for basketball. Hey, I'm rhyming. And the Devils, Islanders, and Rangers
They got
for
a lot of
hockey.
teams, man.
LA's got the Dodgers and Angels for baseball, the Chargers and Rams for football, the Lakers and Clippers for basketball, and the Kings and Ducks for hockey. Other random things, New York has a stock exchange. LA does not. LA has hosted the Olympic Games. New York has not. New York was tragically one of the sites of the deadliest terrorist attack in American history.
Awful,
LA
man.
hasn't had a severe earthquake since 1857, back
Oh my
when hardly
God.
anyone lived there. That was a magnitude 7.8 on the Richter scale. If this
Wow.
were to happen again today, it would be perhaps the deadliest natural disaster in American history.
Well, fingers crossed it never happens, man. Oh my
LA
God.
has palm trees. New York does not. Strangely, when Los Angeles was founded, it didn't have any palm trees at all, by the way. All right, so this is getting way too long. I better wrap this up. The bottom line is, the two cities definitely symbolize two different cultures in the United States. You know,
Definitely.
the whole East Coast, West Coast divide. When you're at both places, you really feel like you're in the middle of it all. While the two try to dominate over the entire rest of the country, it's nice to know they keep each other in check. I'm here with the cynical historian and Grant Hurst, and I'm just going to ask him what they think the differences are between New York and LA.
Pizza. That's it.
In LA, no one uses their signals in their car. In New York, no one drives cars.
Which do you
Fair
prefer?
enough.
Personal preference.
LA.
Probably LA, yeah.
Okay.
I
Why?
can still drive. And being able to, like, have a house, you know?
Oh yeah, as expensive as LA is, it's still cheaper than New York.
Got ya.
Mr. Beat, New York versus LA, it's no contest. New York all the way. We have the best people, the best cultures, the best landmarks, the best buildings, the best pizza, the best bagels, the best baseball. It's New York all the way. And I know this is a total rip-off of a Casey Neistat angle. We still got him too.
What did we miss? What did we get wrong? What did we get right? Come on now. I know a lot of you either live in New York City or Los Angeles, or you at least regularly travel to both. Which is better? Personally, I think I'd rather live in LA. Also, do not.
There you go. That was a hot take. Well, it wasn't a hot take. You guys have probably already seen this video, but Matt beat fair play. He preferred LA. A lot of people seem to prefer LA, except from obviously the guy living in New York there. I'm not going to say which I prefer. I haven't experienced LA myself. But like I said at the start, my general perception is kind of New York is super, not stressful, but busy. So much going on. And LA, while people are doing so much, it's just it's different, isn't it? It's more of a Hollywood, it's more the media instead of the financial kind of side of it. And it's just more relaxed. The beaches there, the weather, the mild climate. That'd be my guess. I imagine I'd love living in both, to be honest with you. And if money wasn't an object, I'd absolutely love it because you could do whatever you want then. But obviously, money is also an issue, so I can't visit consistently. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know which one you prefer and why. End of the day, don't have a go at people. It's their own personal opinion. Everyone's going to like something different for different reasons. So let me know in the comments, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. You absolute legends. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.